Welcome to the Manitoba Ag Days podcast, where we hear from some of the most relevant, up-to-date, informational speakers in our industry. In episode 17, Leslie Kelly, a producer from Regina, Saskatchewan, tells her story, Breaking Down Barriers, My Mental Health Journey.
Hi everybody, I'm Leslie Kelly. I'm also known as High Heels and Canola Fields, and it is my first time at Manitoba Ag Days, so thank you for having me. It's also a privilege and quite the honor to be here to talk to you today about me and my family's mental health journey and all the things that I've learned. So you're probably wondering, why am I here in front of you today? Why am I up here talking? I'm not an expert, nor am I in the medical field. But I'm here because of one reason, and that reason is people. My family is my number one priority. Individuals both within my immediate family and extended family have mental illness. And I'm up here today because I'm fighting for them. The other reason is everyone else in this room, the people in this industry. Our industry is only as successful as the people in it, and right now some of our people are hurting. So my main goal and purpose in sharing my story and being up here today is to help make the industry stronger and better, because my children are going to be part of it one day. So in the next 15 minutes or so, I'll walk you through my family and I's journey with mental illness, how we created further conversations around this topic, and what I've learned that can help make a positive impact on you today and also our support team. So a little bit about me. My hubby and I, Matt, we have 2 children. We farm at Waterous, Saskatchewan. We run a 6,000-acre grain farm. And we live in Regina, though, so he commutes back and forth. Prior to that, I graduated from the University of Saskatchewan with a BCom. I never really thought that I had a career in agriculture, that I wanted to be involved in the farm. My vision was working at an ad agency in a very big city. But my first job out of university, I worked directly with farmers, and that refueled my passion. And I also met a boy who lived and breathed farming. So we got married, we moved out to Alberta, we lived out there for 6 years, and then the opportunity arose to come back to the family farm. My dad wanted to expand, and the stars were aligned, and I got a job with FCC. And then we had babies. So my 2 boys, Jennings, he's 5, he's sensitive, he's smart, he's kind, and then Copeland, he's 2, he's my wrecking ball. He's curious and determined and so much fun. But this started my journey with mental health. So in my pregnancy with Copeland, it was hard. I went into preterm labor just shy of 20 weeks. We also were told that he had a high chance of having Down syndrome. About halfway through, too, we got the news that there were liver concerns, and then every couple of weeks, there was just something that was wrong with him. So I went into my shell. What happens when I get overwhelmed? I stopped communicating, and it was really, really hard. All I wanted was this little boy to be back into my arms. And so he came really fast, and he had a little bit of a hard time transitioning, but he was perfect, and I couldn't have been happier. But around day 3, when I got home, I started to get really overwhelmed. I was sleep deprived, and that's where I had a little bit of a case of baby blues. I didn't go to the doctor or anything, but I found myself upstairs crying in our master bedroom because I was just so overwhelmed, and I didn't know what to do. I hadn't experienced this before. And I had one job at the time. That job was to take care of this beautiful baby boy, and he wasn't taking to me, so I felt that I wasn't being a very good mom. But my husband came in, he knew something was wrong, and he did everything he could to be there for me and help me through that time. Matt and I have been together for 17 years now, almost half my age. And he's strong, he's smart, he's determined, he's loyal, and he gives everything that he has into what he does. He has anxiety, and it peaked after we moved home and we had kids. So the distance, living in a trailer at the farm, being away from us, the pressures of the farm, having not so great crop years over the past 5 years, and working with your in-laws really took its toll. He had one panic attack when I wasn't there with him, and he didn't know what to do, so he called the farm stress line. The person on the phone helped him through it, told him some tips of what he could do, focus on his breathing, and through that call, I knew that we needed to do something. As someone's significant other, it's so hard to see someone that you love go through that and hurt. It's also the worst feeling to watch someone go through that, and the only thing that you can do is hold him and try to get him to focus on his breathing. But this started our great journey together, and we learned so much about each other and what he needed and what I needed to do to help. So this past summer, after Kim started her online conversation, Matt and I thought how we could take this to the next level and share in our journey and that message. So we sat down one evening. He's not really on social media. I said, hey, let's do a live video, and we pressed play. And our goal was to normalize the conversation. We are an everyday couple that has our peaks and our valleys, and that we are here to help each other, and that no one is alone. The responses from the video I would never have imagined. Aside from having over 100,000 hits, we received an overwhelming positive response both in and outside agriculture. Some thanked us for sharing and helping start that conversation. Others shared their experiences after holding it in for such a long time. Others felt that they weren't alone. And some didn't know where to go, but they just needed someone to talk to. We learned that stories matter. Words matter, asking, listening, and talking. So through all this, here are the things that I've learned. Perspective. I've learned that the little things in life matter, making memories, counting my blessings. Matt taught me that I'm not alone, that what I feel matters, that it is okay to feel that way and ask for help. It's okay to put up your hand, that life is amazing, it's challenging, and there are people that love you immensely and that are here to help you. I've learned empathy. Before meeting Matt, I would say I was quite emotionally resilient. I didn't really understand what it was like to have a mental illness. And I would say that I probably wasn't as empathetic either. But through our conversations, understanding that we need things differently, and that then I can truly see what a day in the life is like for him. And that everyone has a story. Each story is powerful, and I truly believe that we meet people for a reason. They are here to teach us something, and we really don't know what that story is or lesson until we ask. It's about having less judgment before understanding someone's experiences and challenges. The third thing I've learned is the power of a support system and network. Matt and I have each other, but we've also relied hugely on our family. My mom was the first one that saw that Matt was going through some challenges, and she gave him the number to the stress line. My family and I have also worked really, really hard to create an open and trusting environment at the farm, and this doesn't happen overnight. It's being vulnerable, it takes time, letting people into your world, sharing your thoughts, and it's also about listening. When we first moved back to the farm, we were very deliberate in creating this type of culture. What we did was we created a list of values and our cultural principles. Our list of values is that family comes first, and then farm, and then financials, because without family, you don't have either the farm or financials. So at every business meeting, we sit down and we make sure that when we make business decisions, that these are all aligned. We've learned that we have to put ourselves on the to-do list, make ourselves a priority. It's so easy to put other things and other people ahead of you, but you are important and you matter. For me, I take the time and I run. Running relieves stress for me, it burns energy, it gives me some alone time from my two crazy children. I also love to connect with my friends, read, burn food, and experience new and fun things. For Matt and I, he enjoys working out, journaling, listening to music, and playing hockey. These things have helped Matt and I, and everyone is different, but it's about taking the time to put yourself first. The fifth thing is communication. The biggest thing that I've learned is how important communication is between Matt and I, our support system, and everyone else in this room. My natural tendency is to get overwhelmed, not talk, go into my shell, but that doesn't help anybody. Matt and I have learned that communication has been our key. We share our fears, our challenges, our goals, our dreams, our thoughts, and stay up into the wee hours. Because without communication, I can't help him or give him what he needs, and vice versa. Communication, opening the door, talking more about mental health is so very important. Communication brings people together. Through all of this, my journey, Matt's, our video, and listening and talking to other producers, we've learned that in order to break barriers and cut this stigma, we need to talk more, listen more, and ask more. And that everyone's do more is different. This was ours because we don't want others in this industry to feel this way and that they are alone. People are our industry's greatest assets. So through perspective, walking a mile in someone else's shoes, creating a support system, finding what works for you, and communication, it has brought Matt and I closer together, started conversations, and have helped others start their own as well. We are trying to change the culture in agriculture, and it starts at the individual level. It starts with one conversation. It starts with you and me. Many thanks for taking the time to be here today and listening to my story. If you'd like to connect, I will be here afterwards and also at the Workhorse Hub booth. And thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Manitoba Ag Days podcast. We'll see you next year from January 22nd to 24th, 2019.